I made a huge mistake in the beginning of Wuthering Waves. I saw red and black, my favorite colors, and I saw an electro mommy to replace my mother. Yinlin stared into my soul and she screamed, "Pull me, daddy." This triggered every resonance in my soul to unlock the forte that is Yinlin, so I did. Failed the 50-50 Genshin only to grasp the pure lightning bosoms that are Yin and Lin. 23 yanks later, 23 pulls later, I secured Yinlin, but little did I know, her weapon was the priority all along. My Yinlin's Thundering Fury was merely tickling the foes, even though she was equipped with the paid Battle Pass weapon, Augment. It turns out that weapon augmented my experience with Yinlin because I was set up to fail. Yinlin's signature weapon, the holy grail of rectifiers, the Stringmaster, may as well have its strings tied to your account because this weapon is cracked beyond belief. 12% damage up, 24% attack when you hit your resonant skill, and when your resonator is not on field, they do 12% more damage, and if that's not enough, this thing gives a whopping 36% crit rate. To put things into perspective, this weapon is 30% stronger than Augment at S1. 30 freaking percent. But not only that, however, Stringmaster is the best rectifier on any user and even rivals Zheji's signature weapon on Zheji. To offset how powerful Stringmaster is, Kuro Games gave Zheji's signature weapon not only 72% crit damage, but 50% basic attack damage. It's very clear that rectifiers are in a league of their own, but their 4-star counterparts, well, not so much. It's like comparing firecrackers to bombs. One goes pop, while the other makes a damn crater. Is this a problem that will never be rectified, or is the vast difference in power between the 4-star and the 5-star weapons going to be a major issue in Wuthering Waves? I'm Void Enigma, and I'll be discussing whether 5-star weapons are too overpowered or if they should stick with this design for the lifespan of the game. Now, before I went off glazing how perfect Stringmaster is, I didn't discuss my mistake. Well, if it wasn't obvious, I didn't pull the damn thing. Because of this, Yinlin is just not reaching her max potential, and while Augment is her best 4-star option, it needs to be max refined before it can even compete with Stringless. With the game being new, it's impossible to max out Battle Pass weapons so early, as it'll take a minimum of 5 patches, and that's if you're laser focused on just one of the 5 options. Now, imagine a scenario where you're free to play. What weapon would you use if you weren't able to secure the Stringmaster for your Yinlin? Well, you see, the only other option is Jinzhou's Keeper, and at R1, that is 40% worse than Stringmaster. It is expected for 5-star weapons to be best in slot for their character, but is such a damage difference supposed to be expected as well? Well, yes. You see, what sets Wuthering Waves apart from other gacha games is that the weapon banner is 100% guaranteed. You don't have to worry about losing your gamble on pulling for a weapon because you can easily get them as long as you get the amount of pulls. Of course, being free to play means that you won't be able to get every limited weapon, but you should be able to nab a few of them, especially for your main damage dealer. So while it's easy to nab these weapons, it's also easy to like this video. Go ahead and push that like button as that's the easiest way to support the channel. Alright, now that you've liked the video, and you totally have, right? The main issue with 4-star weapons is that they're underwhelming. Vastly underwhelming. Not only do they contribute to less damage, their passives are equally as bad. While the support weapons, like Variation, are amazing on supports and healers because you're able to get your outro buff up a lot quicker. The same cannot be said for any character that wants to contribute damage. 4-star weapons that provide a little bit of utility would be a great addition to this game. I'd love to see some weapon lines come out that increase the incoming character's attack or increase energy for the team, besides weapons that just give a little bit more concerto energy. Rather than trying to match the overwhelming power of 5-star weapons, 4-star weapons should just specialize on some utility aspect to make it easier to play the character or make it a little easier to play your main. The Battle Pass weapons are all amazing, and at max refinement they can really do some good damage on the damage dealers. However, the other weapons are just vastly underwhelming in comparison. It feels like the tier list for weapons are as follows. We have S tier, which is the 5-star limited weapons, A tier being the 4-star battle pass weapons, and then we have the B tier, which is literally every other 4-star, and then we have the D tier, which is literally everything else. Some of these weapons passives are just so bad that you'd have to break a bone to even use them properly. The Stringmaster is an example of a perfect weapon on any character. Crit rate, universally good. All damage up, universally good. More damage if your resident skill hits, universally good. This weapon is automatically usable on any future character that wants to do damage. When Xion was released, he had a very powerful signature weapon as well. However, his weapon specialized in heavy attacks, which not all Broadblade users will be able to use, so other characters will definitely find more use out of other weapons. Because this weapon exists, other rectifiers will need to be just as strong in order to be useful on characters that they are paired with. Rhyme Drape Spouts is an example of a phenomenal weapon, and while it is usable on other characters, it seems as if Zheji painted this weapon into existence herself. A massive 72% crit damage stat stick, along with some other universal goodies like 12% attack, but from there, it gets very strict to activate the buff. It buffs basic attack when you use a resonant skill, and it buffs it even further when the character is off field, but it's by a massive 52%. Wait, what? A single basic attack substat in Neko caps out at around 10%, and this weapon gives 12% basic attack stacking 3 times for 36% for 6 seconds, and then you get an additional 52% basic attack damage bonus for 27 seconds when you trigger an outro? Holy crap. I'd hate to see how different weapons in the future will be power crept from here, because we started at the highest level with Stringless, but we'll have to see. I don't think Stringless should be nerfed in any way either, however, because what's done is done, but still, it just makes you wonder how busted or restrictive future weapons will get. With how powerful 5-star weapons are, it will automatically ring a question in your mind when a character comes out. Does this character need their signature weapon? And to answer that question, well, if they're a main damage dealer, then yes. They need a 5-star weapon. They may not need their limited 5-star weapon, but they're going to need a 5-star weapon. We have not yet had a support released in the game yet, so we really have no idea how a support 5-star weapon will function, but I can bet it's going to provide some insane buffs. We will have to wait and see how that turns out. So to answer the original question, is the current design of weapons a bad thing? Well, not really. What we really need is more utility in 4-star weapons to offset the disparity in power between the two. Once this happens, I think things will be fine, since it's very easy to get these signature weapons to begin with. Comment down below what you think about the difference between 4 and 5-star weapons. Is it justifiable, or would you like for them to lessen the gap? I am hoping more 4-star weapons are released, but we will have to see in the future how it goes for Wuthering Waves. Considering you've made it this far, you may as well like the video, yeah? Go ahead and subscribe as well, as that shows some incredible support for the channel. This has been Void Enigma, and until next time, Enigma out.